Hey everybody. Happy Tuesday, April 22nd. I didn't think I was going to play today, but you know, it's been a bit of an emotional day. And I just wanted to sit down and spend some time hanging out online, playing a game, letting people watch it if they want. If not, that's cool. I mean, really at the end of the day, I started streaming just for me. It's a little bit of therapy. I get to talk and chat and do whatever I want to do. And yeah, I do watch my chat room should anybody pop in. And yeah, like I said, if not, just for me. And hey, if anybody hops in, welcome and have a great time. You're always welcome. I'm, you know, Slay the Princess is kind of a slow paced game. So if anybody does pop in and gets to chat, and I got lots of time to get stuff. And yeah, I generally shoot for an hour and a half. And yeah, yeah. That being said, I know at the start of the couple streams I've had, I've never really displayed the start screen, which is here. And yeah, there can be some unsettling images in the game. So I don't want anybody to be surprised. I would say some of the stuff, yes, it can be kid friendly, but if you're looking for a kid friendly game through and through, this probably isn't the one you want. With that being said, let's pick up where we left off.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So, this is the start of the story every time you play. And it goes through some chapters. I won't really dig too deep into what these chapters are in case you haven't watched this game or seen this game before. But it does morph as you continue the story. And each time I play, I kind of take it as in like reading a little bit of a book. Because this isn't a game where you have to chase things, you don't really have to aim at things. This is a story game. It's selection. In my mind, it's exploration of thought process, of emotion, of feeling. Last time we played this, we kind of decided we were going to go the hero route. So every choice we made was based on a hero's perspective. A time before that, we'd done it with the thought that we were going to go in as the hero, just doing what they're told to do. Go in, get it done, get out. Maybe mercenary, cavalier might be a better word. Today, we're feeling kind of low key. So I think we're going to look at this as kind of just a grudging respect, a grim reality day. This is something we have to do. We're here to do it, and we're going to do it to get it done. Is going to be the thought process we're going with. So we won't push back against the narrative a lot. We're not going to, dig too deep into the nuances of this. We're gonna hammer this out as if we're a good soldier, so to speak.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Sorry, hero. Today is not your day.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. the interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Sorry, didn't mean to skip the chat there. A little bit of a setting I'll fix with my OBS after this. Basically, it walks in, it explains the cabin here, kind of what you see, what's going on. And it's really easy in chapter 1. Here's your cabin, there's a knife, there's a door, not much else.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
You know, as far as basements go, this doesn't look like a terrible one so far.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
So again, because we're doing this kind of resolute, good soldier, we don't owe her any explanations.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Yes, and a threat to us, to anybody who's watched the past or played some of this.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I still laugh every time I see this one. Nuh-uh.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation.
Yeah, not so tough now, eh?
You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Here we see it again, too. Like, we never really get a good look at ourselves. But from the elbows up, we have feathers.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
Yes.
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
Yeah. like how these are grayed out. I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible?
We've done our job, man.
You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
What?
What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Oh, I don't like this. Oh, okay. No. Absolutely. I mean, hey, we committed we were going to be good soldiers, but, we got a job done. We should see the end of it.
What's done is done, and there's no going back now. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
No, I'm not happy with this decision.
Psst. Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
No, I don't like it here.
I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this.
Uh,
I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end.
Yeah, like I said 10 minutes ago, whatever it was when we started the stream, this is a story game, and yes, it does have some happy moments, but it also takes you to some places like this. And I mean, I'm not one to judge anybody for the choices they make in their life. God knows I've been to some dark places myself. And if the idea being presented at this point, suggested, at least from what I'm reading, is something uncomfortable to you, I would not feel bad at all telling people to, step away. Get yourself into a better headspace if you're uncomfortable, and come back if you're interested in seeing how the story continues. But always, and I will always say this, put yourself first. Always put yourself first.
Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
let's explore this. Maybe it's not the option we're thinking.
How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it.
Okay, we were on the right track with our initial thought.
In a sense, we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever.
Which really, in my opinion, is kind of a version of hell.
I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
I don't know how anybody, and I mean, God knows I'm a bit of an introverted person myself, but I don't know how this is happiness for anyone. Be pretty upset if we die. Yeah, so I'm thinking, like I said, to me, this would be a certain kind of hell. I mean, if the options were to sit like this for eternity in a room with just a table, and I think there's a window on the other side of here, but there's nothing out them. I would do what I'd have to do.
Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate?
This is no reward.
Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs.
So the question... Sorry about that. The question I would have at this point is, how long has it been? Like, what are we walking into down here?
The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Screw you, narrator. So yeah, I didn't want to say too much
You're on
earlier.
a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Sorry, I didn't want to say much earlier, but this is where I get the chapters from. You know, every choice you make will bring you to the next part of the book. And it's an ever-changing book, depending on what you choose. You know, I'm in my 40s. I remember Choose Your Own Adventure books very well. And that's what this game kind of feels like to me.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, so if you go back, or if you remember, I got a terrible memory, so it'd be tough for me, but these options changed chapter 1. So your mind, your collectiveness is going, something's up. Even though the narrator started the exact same way as he did in chapter 1. And like I said, I'm kind of going with the soldier route, but now I'm feeling a little scorned. Because we were told, go in, kill the princess, save the world, life is good. And then we got thrown essentially into purgatory, which I wasn't too happy with. So we're going to pivot a bit. And maybe now we're going like a, I wouldn't say Punisher style, but, you know, we're scorned. We're a scorned lover. We don't like this.
How unfortunate that the sole person capable of slaying the princess also seems to be somewhat insane. Oh well, as long as you get the job done, it doesn't matter what sort of mental state you're in. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again.
So this is a new voice. We haven't seen this one before. We have seen some others in the past. You can see we had the lover. There was one that was all about kind of soldiering in the one. He was a no-nonsense kind of dude. I liked him. But we see, as we make our choices, it seems like our psyche kind of evolves as well.
Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
I mean, I wish we had some more options here, because this doesn't really fit the narrative I've got in my mind at this point. I mean, I could turn around and leave, but I don't know what that's going to do for us. Going to the cabin in my mind is kind of self-defeating. Like, we'd made up our mind that we're pissed. We were cheated. We did our job. We weren't paid back reciprocally. And this just sounds, you know, kind of like the voice of the cold there. Like, why bother? Everything sucks. But you know what? Let's go. To hell with it. We're nobody's puppet.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Oh. Okay. I guess we're going to the cabin?
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. She won't be a problem.
So when I first heard the cold, he sounded kind of like a defeatist to me. Like, hey, this sucks, I guess we'll die. But now, I kind of read into this as emotionless. So, maybe voice of the callous would have been a bit better? In my mind?
The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge.
Still no mention of the mirror.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
I disagree. As I have every other time we've seen this.
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? Let's just go into the basement and find her body so we can be done with this.
You know what? As the scorned, I'm feeling like this is the right answer.
As do I. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
So I got a thought on this. We'll circle back to it.
But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
Alright, we're taking the blade. And not because the narrator wants us to. But I got this vision in my mind that even though we're scorned and we're pissed, self-preservation is still on the table here.
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent.
We've never seen that before. We're always acknowledged entering the building in some respect.
Nobody's here, naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain.
If I remember right, her head was on the left side last time we saw her body, not the right.
Okay, she's definitely dead.
Very heroic.
It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin.
What in the Tim Burton is this?
And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost!
People my age will get that.
Oh, wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
You don't watch many horror movies, do you, Cold?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
I love the voices in this. I wasn't a big fan of the Smitten. The Smitten was the one we had last time, the romantic guy, as one of our psyches. But the voice work in this is really good.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
Yeah, this is self-preservation to me. I mean, I'll want to do what the narrator wants, but this is self-preservation.
Without a moment's hesitation, you lash out with your blade. It's like you're slashing at air. No matter how many times you stab at her, no matter how many angles you strike from, all you manage to do is interrupt her form, the skin of your hand prickling with cold as it passes through, unable to find anything solid.
Not entirely unexpected for what was going on here. I mean, in some legends, I'm assuming this is an iron dagger or steel or something. This should work, but
You're adorable when you're confused. But I didn't say you could touch me.
yeah, we're done. We're screwed.
Why are you even here? Just making sure you finished the job, or what?
So again, I don't know how many of these answers really fit the narrative we're trying to weave, but, you know, this is kind of flippant. This is kind of self-reflective, which again isn't what we're going for. This might fit. But again, I don't really feel like we should be explaining ourselves to anybody. You know what? In for a penny, in for a pound.
You swing at the princess once more, and once more your blade cuts through nothing as she disappears.
Yeah, we're screwed.
Really?
Her voice chides from elsewhere in the room. You whirl around, finding her hovering between you and the basement stairs, looking you over with grim disappointment. She draws in close.
I was willing to let bygones be bygones, Keller. I was willing to ignore everything you did to me so we could get out of here together.
I like the reverb in the voice, won't lie.
All I ever wanted was to leave this place. All I ever wanted was to find a way back home. Wherever home is.
She's like a banshee?
Her eyes turn from wells of sorrow to pits of wrath as she stares into you.
Oh.
I guess violence is the only language you speak.
She forces her hand into your chest, and then... Yes? Nothing happens. Are you sure about that? Something should have happened. And yet it didn't. We're fine.
Not yet, but let's see if you stay that way.
No, we gotta be strong here, guys.
You can't be sure if you first hear or feel what happens next, but it is over before you can fully conceptualize what it is. A horrific splintering, the squelching of organs, the rending of tissue, an icy, numbing pain.
Oh. Okay, bad choices were made.
I'm done asking. The next time I see you, I'm taking everything I owed. Starting with your body. If you won't choose to give me my freedom, I'll just have to make you give it to me.
She's real now. If she's making us dead, we should return the favour.
So, as much as I agree with that, we've tried twice now? No giving up, though. We committed.
You swing your blade towards her briefly corporeal throat. It connects. A gash widens across her neck, glowing ectoplasm leaking from the wound. But it's too little, too late.
Oh!
In her hand, you realize she clutches your still beating heart. It thumps unsettlingly.
It's just, let's Game of Thrones this. What is dead can never die.
Did we get her?
No. Sorry, hero. We did not get her.
Even if we didn't, we've given her something to remember.
That's right. Go down swinging.
See you soon, killer.
I'm afraid you'll never know. As she crushes your precious organ in her hand, everything goes dark, and you die.
Well. The Wraith. Okay, so the last one was the Spectre.
You're on a path in the wood, and here we go again. Off to slay her again.
This does not look like the forest we've seen. And this is what I hesitate to say at the start of the stream. As you make your choices, you'll notice the world around you changes. So we're not in like a... I would have called it maybe a Gothic-esque forest before. Storybook forest. This is like nightmare fuel. But we've done nightmare things.
The deck's stacked, isn't it? We kill her, we start again. She kills us as a goddamn ghost, we start again. I'm starting to think we're being run in circles just for the sake of it.
And we have had the cheated before. I like the cheated. He just tells it like it is. He's got that sarcasm to him, which I enjoy.
Come on, let's not give in to all that misery just yet. There's got to be a way out of this. There's got to be a right answer.
And I think the cheated and the cold are going to be at odds with each other, which will be kind of cool.
Yeah. And what if there isn't? Aren't you listening to me? What if all of this was rigged from the start?
Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
That's ridiculous. There'd be no point in all this if it was just some kind of cosmic busy work. I think that's exactly what it is. The powers that be, seeing how many ways they can screw with us. Could be it's all some kind of sick joke to them.
Love it. Love it. I love this dude.
Okay, so you've already been here. Twice, even. Great. Then let me poke a few holes in your depressing little theory. Nobody here is screwing with you, and I can't imagine any scenario where you would have started over after slaying the princess.
So time and time again we get that. And every stream before I said, I feel like the narrator's gaslighting us. But I question, is he? Does he know? Does he know what's going on? Does he know we've tried and tried and tried again? Or is this really a do-over for him each time?
Well, we didn't have to start over. We killed ourselves.
True.
And why, pray tell, did you do that?
Because of you, narrator. You left us in purgatory.
Because you decided to foist an infinite tedium on us.
A lot more elegant than I said it.
That doesn't sound like me. If I'd had everything my way, you would have effortlessly slain the princess, saved the world, and been given your happy ending. The ending was the tedium. You locked us in a cabin and sent that cabin to an endless void, and then you told us we were happy. Well, were you happy?
Nope.
Of course we weren't happy. That's why we killed ourselves. It was awful. Yes, and then she killed us. Even though she was already dead. This is all fake.
I appreciate your optimism, Cheated, but I don't know.
Okay, let's try to get back on track. You're real. The princess is real. The world is real. The people in the world are real, and the danger she poses to all of them is also, quite unfortunately, real. Whatever you did the first time, it sounds like it almost worked. So how about you give it one last try? Because killing yourself seems to undo all the good you almost managed to accomplish.
I mean, I wish you could type your own options, your own replies, and I know that would be difficult from a coding perspective to work around. But at this point, with the narrative we're trying to sling today, I'd really love to have a line like, well then do it yourself, and just like sit it out.
All this standing around and talking is boring. Let's at least do something. Maybe we'll kill her again. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll even free her.
Killed her. We've tried this last time, and we were basically told by her that we had no choice. I'm not keen to help the narrator because this is true in my mind. Why should we help? We got screwed. We helped, we did our job, we were boned. We came back, we were killed. And this, we questioned this before. Does the narrator know that we're going through... I hate using the term multiverse, but it kind of seems like it, in a way. Yeah. So, you know what? This is... We've tried doing our job, we've tried doing self-preservation. The princess said she wanted to be free. And the narrator tells us it's the end of the world, but I don't know if I believe him. So, let's try and break the cycle.
You're making a dizzying amount of assumptions. Your perceived reality looping twice before does not mean it will continue to do so forever. Those little voices have already drawn attention to the fact that even the path is different. The world itself is at a tipping point. Know that there is always a choice. Even if you were stuck in an infinite loop, there's no reason to assume that the mere nature of the infinite would force you to make any specific choice. You do have free will, as much as things would be easier if you didn't, and you can just keep making the correct choice forever, never deviating.
But that would make boring storytelling.
How convenient, everything always comes back to what you want us to do. I'm sick of him. Makes me want to end the world out of spite.
Hell yeah, Cheated. You can always ask the question, right? Like, I believe it's the same narrator over and over, kind of like it's an omniscient being. And yeah, I don't want to be locked away again forever because maybe we won't be able to escape.
Then she finds a way out on her own.
She's a ghost. Or was a ghost. I don't think there's a lot of stopping that at this point.
Ugh, of course she does. So, standing around out here is the same as us letting her out. Only we don't have to see her. That's got to be better, right?
Yes.
No, it's strictly worse. But she can't kill us out here. Why would staying out of killing distance be worse if she's getting out regardless?
See, this is the first real voice of reason. I like the chippiness of the Cheated. I like the aloofness of the Cold. But the hero kind of brings it back here, like, why? Why do we need to involve ourselves?
Because it's cowardly, for starters, and because the unknown is always worse than the known. But really, all you're doing right now is weighing two considerably bad options. The only solution worth considering is slaying her, and whatever delusion is holding you back from doing that is just that, a delusion. If you already managed to end her in some other world, the only reason you'd be here is that you somehow managed to do it wrong.
Again, then do it yourself, man.
How are we supposed to decide on anything if you just keep coming up with new rules? Since when is there a wrong way to slay her?
I guess we're going, because I think we try and get her out. Maybe we can work with her against the narrator.
You continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite your protestations, I think you know what you need to do.
Even the narrator sounds like he's kind of given up.
The more he talks, the more I'm interested in setting her free.
Yes.
Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care.
Don't call my bluff.
It sounds like somebody's about to crack. There's obviously no point in trying to reason with you right now, especially with all these clowns offering up their useless advice. Honestly, it seems like the more I try and talk sense into you, the more single-minded they get about letting her out. So yes, I'm done trying to argue. Would you look at that? We won. Take it however you will.
He's like a kid that just had a tantrum. He's taking his ball and he's going home. He's had enough.
The interior of the cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward, fluttering helplessly as opposing gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward. The only furniture of note is... that's strange.
There's no table and there's no dagger. I've never seen this.
What's strange? Is it the mirror?
There's no mirror.
The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Great. Something else has been taken away from us. I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. Blade or not, it doesn't really matter, does it?
That's kind of self-defeating, Cold. Like, I kind of held you as the, well, I guess we'll do it, because we gotta do it, and we'll do it the most efficient way. I like this.
If you're asking what's at the end of the hallway, it's the way to the basement. The way to the basement? Don't you mean door? No, I didn't say door, because there isn't a door, it's just an opening. What are the odds she's waiting for us right behind it? If I were running a bullshit factory, it's what I'd do.
Love it.
Let me assure you that there's nothing there. Nothing is going to jump out at you, and certainly not the princess. The princess is in the basement.
Not another castle?
He can't see the mirror. The knife is gone, defying his expectations. Who the hell is calling the shots here?
We should. Why can't we write our own narrative?
Nobody is calling the shots. That's how reality works. You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward, towards the darkness at the end of the hallway. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched. We've always been watched. You're watching us right now. Sometimes the feeling is just stronger than others. I feel like you're trying to put us on edge. We don't need all this anticipation. We just need this to be over. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there.
I want to know why the mirror is always such a big issue.
Here we go. You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening. Nothing. It's like this place read our mind just to mess with us.
What you looking at, killer? Staring into the void? Thinking about what it'd be like to die again? I know exactly how you feel.
We have no blade. We've got a very pissed off ghost, judging by the voice and the music. Well, shit.
Shit. Where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in muted shock for one long, frozen moment. And then she, the princess, constricts. Your bones snap.
Oh, that sound.
Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse, and you collapse with them. You're met with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
Again, what in the Tim Burton is going on here? But we do see something we haven't seen before, which is our feet. And we have, I'm going to assume, feathers. I can't really tell. Like I said before, I think we're kind of like a harpy or something. But then we should have like the disjointed legs with like the little claw hook or the spur, whatever you call it, on the back of the leg.
Do you know how I feel? I gave you a path to forgiveness. I gave you a chance to make things right. I thought maybe you'd seen what you've done and feel remorseful. Maybe try to make it up to me. But no, you'd rather use that knife to keep making the same mistake over and over and over. Even after I ripped your heart out, you still cut me. And for what? I didn't go anywhere. You didn't banish me. I'm right back here with you. A little better, a little worse. Well, maybe a lot worse.
I was about to say.
So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take your body, and I'm going to walk it out of here.
No.
And you get to watch me do it. Completely helpless. Just like you left me.
I say we let her do it. It's something different.
Shut up, Gold.
Do we even have a choice? You always have a choice. Maybe before, but not now. There isn't a blade this time. Exactly. What choice is there if there isn't a blade? Well, unless you have any specific ideas, I think my vote's the only one that counts.
So, I don't like this for, again, the narrative we're trying to build, but with self-preservation, I mean, that sounds like something that Cheated would say. I'm not going to lie. I mean, we were coming in here as the soldier. We were going to kill him. I don't want to play the victim game because we've been pretty merciless. And we're not begging. We're not begging for our life. I mean, I could bargain. I'm gonna try that. I mean, these two seem like they're one and the same, but maybe this will give us a better option to live.
I don't think you get the magnitude of hatred that sits between us. You've broken more trust than I thought I had. Oh, we're past the point of compromise. I'm taking your body, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
You violently struggle against the princess, but all you manage to do is grind the fragments of your splintered ankle together. You can't shake free from her now.
It's so easy to make you squirm. But I won't be crueler than I have to be. Don't even want to cause any more damage. It'll be hard enough for me to walk out of here on that broken ankle.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle.
You still got hands, man. Take her head.
Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, manifest a rock right on top of her head? And crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to free the princess.
You know, I'm gonna give him that one, because I was pretty quick earlier to taunt him about being the kid with the tantrum. He kind of gets this, I told you so.
Not like this. You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too. And whose fault is it there isn't a weapon here? Yours, I assume. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Whatever you did in those previous lives of yours, you really messed up. Are you seriously trying to blame this on us? Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul. You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice is all-encompassing. You feel wrong. It's so cramped in here. Like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out.
Oh,
I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support. There's another option, you know. Don't help either of them. Flip the table.
How do you do that? You don't have a will to wield. Your soul is inflamed with courage.
That gap where the mirror was, I don't think it goes anywhere. Let's throw ourselves into the abyss.
You wouldn't dare. Move now.
I don't think we can win this. If we do that, the narrator wins. If we walk out of here, the princess wins.
Your body, still slumped against the wall, trapped between the princess's overwhelming will and the blinding pain of your splintered ankle, takes an excruciating step towards the cabin door. The movement is stiff, your body reduced to a marionette, pulled reluctantly along by your strings.
It's not that bad. The pain feels good. Because I know you feel it too.
We can't just sit in this purgatory, eh? Not like chapter 1. at this point, it's a question of who do we give the W to? You know what? We're doing the Abyss, because I know we went soldier and self-preservation and all that, but I think even if we were to get out of the cabin, that there's no escape from this.
In a single moment of overwhelming willpower, you tear your body from the wall and hurl it towards the gaping abyss.
I won't let you do that.
Capillaries burst and muscle fibers tear as you and the princess struggle over the reins of your body. One foot planted firmly on the edge where the floor ends, and the nothing begins. It's unquestionable that her reserves are greater than yours, but fortunately for you, the distance you have to cover is far shorter. Enough is enough. I'm tired of us always losing. It's just a step away.
I like the perspective. I mean, even the cheated knows now at this point of darkness that there is still a victory in defeat.
Even if you throw yourself into the abyss, you still lose.
But you don't win.
You throw everything you have against her and manage, for one brief moment, to overpower the princess's hold on your body. But that moment was all you needed. Your foot slips a few inches, and you collapse forward, the darkness swallowing you whole.
Why do you hate me?
Her thought slips through you, unheeded, as you fall, and fall, and fall.
I've been falling for 30 minutes.
What an end. But at least it's ours.
Right. Victory in the small things, cheated.
An empire of frigid nothing. I don't think this qualifies as saving the world, but at least you didn't ruin it. What happens now?
But you need what happens now. You wanted it.
But I want to know what he thinks happens now.
I don't think you're going to find that out.
Oh? And why is that?
You should be ever come into your head. You laugh. Go on. It's just you and you and you and me.
Oh, this is not a group I would have wanted to spend eternity with.
He's gone. But...
What is happening to me?
I'm confused too.
she's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
So I didn't say it at the start. But when you get to a chapter 3 of a narrative, this is how it always goes. Let's see if we can see ourselves.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. It's going to do something to us. I can feel it.
Cold's probably gonna be like, oh well.
Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
No, I'm surprised, and I like this answer. Oh, yeah. Before we could see like our feathers and stuff, not like this goop and whatnot. I don't know if I want to see the embodiment of her.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again.
I don't like how the one hand is holding her spine.
All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Okay. You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist. How can you stand to be a contradiction? Let's... At the end of the world, I don't know how I would discuss this on the narrative we're going with. I mean, ultimately, I just kind of want to be what's done is done and let it go. But I feel like that's cheating the story at this point. Let's explore this. Let's explore if they remember the relationship between the two of them.
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
I don't hate her. Like this story, as it continues to expand, feels kind of like the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. Like there's one great power, the princess, and then one great power in ourselves, and they are destined to do this over and over and over again. Which, to me, makes a really interesting story in how they both change and adapt and evolve, and do they love each other? Do they hate each other? What is the end game? Because when you think of video games, unless you're playing something replayable like a Magic COD or a game of League or a game of Heroes or PvP in WoW or whatever you choose to do, it's just playing and doing not the same thing over and over because it changes, there's variables. But a video game, like a single player game like this, you would expect an end. But there's so many multitude of choices here, I don't know if you get to an end. Regardless, sorry, that's a bit of a thought dump, I guess. And I don't hate her. Like I said, I think there's something pushing her, pushing me, that always gets us to this point. I don't know if we're in control of our destinies. Like, does she have a narrator? Like I do?
It says that your heart is gentle. that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion. This one is loneliness turned to seething. She could not find her strength in others, so she found it in herself. She will make for a driven heart.
And I don't hold that against her because we kind of pushed the story in that direction. Like, there was no giving her a chance. And if she's innocent, like it would sometimes suggest she is, you didn't leave her a choice. She did what she had to do, just like we did, to survive, in whatever form she so chose to take.
Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
We always get this option at the end of this: once you're finished, I'm going to kill you. I don't like that at all.
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
But what is our work?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
So it seems just like as I withered when we were looking at the mirror there, she grows each time we finish a third chapter and bring her whatever we've brought her.
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
Like, you would assume everybody has a preference. Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be sad? Do you want to be spiteful? Do you want to be wrathful? In love? In hate? Whatever.
The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're on a path
We're gonna
in the
save
woods.
this. And we're gonna call it for a day. And I'm gonna take a minute again to say I love the narrative of this story. Like, yesterday's stream was a lot more emotional. This one was very powerful in its own right, based on the narrative we chose to weave and how the game weaved it with us. It was angrier, but at the end we still had our resolution. Although not final, it's a good way to wrap up. And that's kind of why I enjoy doing this. I call it a chapter at a time when you do 3 chapters, because that's a story where it resets back to chapter 1 and you've just got the voice of the hero again. So it makes it interesting, and I want to see at some point if you can redo it and see the same thing. But as I've seen some of the grayed out text, I would come to believe that you can't. Like the game is pushing you to see all avenues in some way. I'm not sure. I hope so. Because, I mean, it's still phenomenal, but I don't want to see the same thing over and over again. Because I'm not playing this game for that. Like I'd suggested, you know, if you're doing a PvP or a shooter or whatever, where it's different every time because you have different people and different loadouts and etc. etc. But that's not what I'm playing this for. But yeah, no, it was a good day. And you know, I wanted to say again, whoever was here, if anybody comes back and looks on this, thank you. It was a bit of a rough day today, but that's okay. You know, it was heavy, and it's not the kind of heavy you shake off by having a nap or a snack or whatever. It was the kind of heavy that just sat in my chest, and I'm not sure why it's there. And if you're feeling that, I want you to know you're not alone. But if you're not feeling that, that's awesome, because you can be a shining light to other people. And I don't do this because I have answers for people. I do it because stories, my story, game stories, your stories, it's a good way to go on. And games are an escape. But sometimes they can also force you to face things you didn't know you needed to. So, you know, if you got anything from watching this today, or from listening to what I've had to say, that's fantastic. And you know, just take a moment to breathe. And just relax. And be yourself. Just for a moment. Because there are times we need to just be ourselves. And doing this is a part of my therapy. And it's not that any of my therapists or doctors have said, hey, go out and stream, you'll have a great time doing it. I'm doing this because I feel like it gives me an outlet to be myself. I'm not performing. Hell, if nobody ever sees this, that's fine. It was good for me. But if somebody did see it, and somebody took something from it, that's great. And you know, just remember this too. You don't have to win every day. Just get up and keep going. And even if your today was rough, there's always tomorrow. And maybe tomorrow you can be that shining light to somebody. Have a great day.